Hello.
That was quite abrupt.
That was
It started, James.
it did start. Christmas pig.
Christmas pig to you.
How's your Christmas been pigging so
Oh,
far?
it's fun. I've been hanging up my piglets on the wall.
Oh, nice.
I haven't piglets, but
What
if I did, you better believe I'd be hanging them up on the wall.
what would your daddy say if you saw mummy kissing Christmas pig?
He wouldn't be best pleased, James.
No,
I can say that
I
much.
think
I don't know exactly what words he'd use. Probably things you can't say on a live stream. He'd be miffed, to say the least.
definitely. I think I and anyone else would be. I
We've
think
got
that.
some fantastic pig Christmas carols going off in the chat here. Oh, Little
Oh
Pig of
yes,
Bethlehem, We Three
nice.
Pigs of Oriandar,
Oh yes,
Bethlehem. That's very good there.
of course. It was
I'm
staring us in the face this whole time.
perhaps a little bit insensitive.
Yes.
But anyway, that's fine. Oh, Christmas pig, oh, Christmas pig.
How Christmassy is your Christmas pig?
Yeah,
Very.
some real bangers there.
Well, Christmas
Ideal,
pig.
hopefully pork bangers.
Yeah,
See what
lovely stuff.
The
Is
word
that,
has
is that
two
what
meanings.
what we have instead of crackers?
Yeah, you probably grab
You just pull
one
the
end of a
sausage,
sausage.
and the winner
Yeah.
gets the most of the sausage.
Yeah, the loser has to clean up the sausage meat, the discarded sausage meat from the banger.
Oh, lovely.
They're having a great time in the chat. I think we're superfluous, to be
Yeah,
honest.
I
Here.
think so.
Well, you
This
just need to
time.
get 100 people together and get them all to shout pig at each other, and they're having a whale of a time.
Yes, this is Pigmas. Well, Alistair.
My tinsel's slipped, James. My tinsel's sliding down. Right?
Is that a tinsel?
Well, it's not tinsel. What is it? It's a garland, would you say?
Yes, it's a lovely loop.
Thank you.
Lovely,
Thank you
lovely
very much.
loops. Have you snuck any Mobius strips in there for the nerds?
No, I will not get into that topographical area. That's dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
A single infinite surface, not for me, thank you.
Christmas will never end.
Drinking my Christmas mead out of a Klein bottle. No way.
Oh, nice. I'm having some tap water, Christmas tap water.
Ooh,
from a reusable cup from a
Ooh.
beer festival,
Well
because
push the boat out.
I'm a middle-aged man.
And the graphic on the cup is a wolf. That's pretty
Oh
dangerous.
yeah,
Pretty
all
edgy.
sorts. Yeah. Right. But I'm not here to talk about my cups.
No, we're not here to just describe cups. Okay.
No, for once, we're not. We're here to celebrate the birth Christmas pig.
Christmas pig.
The birth of Christmas pig.
The real meaning of Pigmas.
Yes. Pigs. Yes. 2, it's going to be our 200th episode.
No way.
At some point soon.
Oh,
no, I'm pretty sure I've done the maths right, and it will be the episode that this is made from. If you know what I mean. So the live streams get turned into episodes.
They do, yeah.
And the one that is made from this.
It's not the episode yet.
Not yet, no, because this is a live event that we're all just experiencing.
I see, yeah. But in the record, when people do listen to it and you say not yet, that's confusing for them.
I'll cut that bit out.
Oh, very clever.
Wait a minute. I need to do a retake. Right now. Do you think I match my tone?
Yeah, that's seamless. Yeah.
I think I've got a future in acting.
Yeah, did you used to do that thing where when you phoned up to try and book cinema tickets, you were the robot voice on the other end?
Yes. Yeah. Would you like to see a film right now? It really put people off. And thirdly, of course, it's our 6th birthday as a podcast. Yes.
So logically, that means we've had 6 series with
of 20.
No. Oh no, we've
200.
Embarrassed ourselves. What's 200 divided by 6?
I think it's not a whole. I don't think it's a whole number.
6 recurring episodes per series. To be honest, that's not a more ridiculous number than the actual way we've done our series is.
Exactly, and I think at least one of our episodes is infinitely recurring. So we're we're fine. We're very accurate.
200 episodes of this rubbish.
200 full
Congratulations.
episodes. That's not including
No,
minisodes.
We don't include minisodes. We don't
Or
count them.
probably apology episodes for Cantrell episodes.
We don't include episodes where we correct errors made by comedians who, frankly, from my point of view, have got too big for their boots and are too good for the podcast now.
Well, funny you should say that, actually. There may be a little Xmas Pig surprise coming up. But let's do I want to do some thank yous, actually, Alistair. It's this time of Christmas Pig that I feel ever so grateful for the lovely law folk that we have associated.
Am grateful to the law folk, yeah, because otherwise it would just be you and me talking, and that would be horrible.
Yes, there'll be a whole chat of people similarly ignoring us. Just to answer to the chat, I'm in my shed. I'm back in the shed. It has been a while.
And the question on everyone's lips, including Jeff the Mongoose, what's in the tubs, James?
Which tubs? Jeff, which tubs? It's all tubs.
There's a lot of tubs. So for the listener, if this stays in the episode, there are a lot of handy plastic tubs behind James containing stuff. I don't think we can even see that tub, James. You're revealing the contents of an invisible tub.
This tub?
What's in that tub? Yeah.
That's got 3 very high-powered face masks.
A high-powered face mask?
And some of those
you mean
plastic sheet masks that they had as well.
Right, so that would be for
COVID
DIY
times.
Purposes, right?
Oh, no, this is the COVID box.
Okay, all right.
That's paint rollers.
Paint rollers.
The good box is here. This has got my Batman comics and a cassette tape version of Alice in Wonderland.
Wow.
The BBC adaptation.
Well, there you go. Hope that answers your question. I mean, it does answer your question. What's in the tubs? What I mean is, I hope you're happy with that interlude where we find out what were in the tubs, because frankly, I didn't enjoy it at all until we got to the tapes at the end.
Yes. And my best throw of the day, judo. I want that on the recording. Best throw of the day, judo.
Best throw of the day.
I won best throw of the day. It's like the only thing I've ever won.
An award for throwing someone over in judo?
Yes, I did an Ogoshi on Sean Coombs.
Ogoshi?
Yeah.
Not
the
you
rapper.
Say when it's happened to you.
Yes, you do. And they say, well done. Hi, Jimmy.
You, James.
They say, hi, Jimmy, to start it. That was
say
bad.
Hi, Jimmy.
Hi, Jimmy. That was a really bad. I think even when I did the class at 8, I knew that was a bad joke. And yet I've done it again. But my gratefulness.
Yes, we are grateful to
my gratitude. Yes. The law folk in the law folk Discord. Do you know what happened, Alistair? You know what happened. This Xmas Pig.
Some manner of I was going to say spontaneously arising, but it didn't just happen. It was organised by one of the law folk. Some kind of secret Christmas pig or Christmas secret pig.
Yes.
Christmas pig secret.
Yes, Vanessa did it, and it was brilliant. Thank you very much.
Thank you. What a lovely idea. So law folk sent each other Christmas pig related gifts
around the world,
around the whole planet,
internationally. And a lot of them shared pictures, and some were homemade that someone hand knitted or crocheted. I'm not sure the difference. Christmas pig baubles for people to hang on their tree, and they were all themed off pigs that have shown up in episodes.
Themed around specific pigs. This is blowing my mind. It's incredible. It's really taking some of the pressure off us that the law folk are just entertaining themselves.
Exactly. We don't even need to talk law. I'm
slightly worried that we're superfluous at this point.
We don't even need to talk law or pig. We keep saying, are we superfluous? And the chat keeps going on ignoring us.
ABK looks like a party town mayor with the paper garland on. Yeah. Welcome to Party Town. That is really, if I'm a mayor of any town, it's not Party Town. I'm a mayor of Library Town.
It did have a big medallion on it, but it was made of chocolate, and the previous mayor ate it. And also, I received a gift from a law folk from Teacake 2000. Well, we received the gift, but I received it first, and I need to hand it over to you when I see you in the flesh. It's these. They're law folk top trumps.
Top trump law. What? Hold those closer to the camera, please, so we can see. The Lambton Worm.
Lambton Worm right there. I'm just going to randomly pick another.
Stinker.
Oh, who's that? Is that old Stink?
That's Brother Jacundus.
Brother Jay.
That's Sam the Sandown Clown.
Ah, yeah, it's fantastic. And there's, whoops, they were in also.
Now. They before you discarded them so abruptly. They were a wonderful gift.
They're smashed now. No, that was the there's two sets. There's one for you, one for me. They're in like a cassette tape box. Really clever.
So when we get together, we're going to play Loremen Top Trump. That's going to be so self-indulgent.
We've got a rule book.
A Mary Lloyd book of
rules.
Trump rules. Wow.
Yeah. So there's. Do you want to know the categories? Are naming. So the highest score.
That's a bit of a confusing category, but okay.
Supernatural being another. The year. So the year of that the law took place. The oldest wins.
That's really good. Yeah.
Of course. And the episode number that it appeared in, most recent wins.
Wow.
And there's another category of episode length. And so the longest episode wins. And then there's a little fact. So would you like to hear the Sam the Sandown Clown?
Yeah, please. What's the fact?
So Sam the Sandown Clown, naming 3, Supernatural 5, year 1973, episode number 390, episode length 38 mins. Sam represented Luxembourg in the 1985 Eurovision Song Contest. Some of these facts may not be facts. Fun fact. Would you like to have a quick game? I could play it as both of us.
Yeah. Let's play it.
Whoa. Wait a minute. Sorry, I've just glanced at the chat. Someone has never heard of top trumps.
Oh, Sophia, top trumps. Well, we can explain how it works as we play.
Yeah.
2 players have a little parcel of cards each. And we pull 2 cards and we pit them against each other in a category.
So I've just pulled Alistair's card. I'm not looking at it.
My card is the Stoon of Skoon.
You could go first. Spookiest goes first. And
all right. I'm the spookiest of the 2. In that case, I challenge you in the category. So I could choose any here, but I'm going to choose one that looks pretty high. I challenge you in the category of naming.
Oh, I've got Jeff the Talking Mongoose, and it's a 5.
A good name. It's a 5. Well, mine is only called the Stoon of Skoon, so it's only a 5.
Oh, it is but so I win and I get that card, and we would carry on like that
until I inevitably had no cards left.
I
can't believe Americans don't have top trumps. Americans have 1 top trump. They don't. Yeah, okay. Some other people in the chat are making exactly the joke I was drifting towards there.
He's no longer the top one, surely.
Well, he's still the main one I can think of. But
that's true. Yeah. So thank you very much for that. I'm very much looking forward to playing that over the Christmas pig period.
Yes, during the pig festival.
Yes.
As I'm learning, quite hard to do pig puns.
I did one a couple of years ago, and I'm going to continue to dine out on it. Saturnalia.
Trotters clashing together.
Well, what we did, because it was all these things happening at the same time, we thought we would do a little Q&A.
A Q&A.
Q&A.
For the benefit of Americans, what do those letters stand for, James?
Oh, Q is question or query.
Okay. And A
is answers or answers.
Questions and answers.
Yes.
Alligators.
So we asked some of the people in the Law Folk Discord to send us a bunch of Qs that we would
Hogmanay. Sorry.
Oh,
Uther Pendragon. Hogmanay. Have we been doing this for 4 years now? We've been Christmas pigging year after year without doing Hogmanay.
Without a Hogmanay.
Hogmanay. It's pre-punned. Winter solstice.
Winter solstice.
Put a spin on that one.
Yeah.
Continue. The questions and alligators. What were you saying?
So yes, we put a shout out. Don't know.
A shout out
in the Law Folk Discord, and we received a bunch of Qs, and so
so far.
Well, we're going to provide those A's.
Understood.
And I thought we needed the voice of the people to ask us those cues.
Yeah, a real sort of grotty, horrible peasant voice, ideally.
Yes, the people.
Yeah.
And so yes, we got a little friend of ours to ask us the questions, and I think he's appearing via live video link up now.
Hello. Oh, that's
here
peaking.
He is.
That's peaking immediately. Hello, James. Hello,
he's a video.
Loremen
We don't
community.
need to actually speak to him.
What about hello,
It's
Alistair?
me, Naughty Chris Cantrell, wilderness correspondent. I'm here with some questions from the Loremen Discord, which sounds great fun.
He's very
could
rude.
be in it, but I decided I would rather poke out my own eyes. Nah, it's good. It's good for adults to hang around in a digital encrypted space. That feels safe. So, I've got some questions from the Loremen community that I've been asked to read out. So, yeah, these are for James and Al. Okay.
Oh, I get a mention now.
This is the first one. Although I admire your almost Danny Robbins-like dedication to sitting on the fence, it would be interesting to hear your definitive take on some law-adjacent cases. What was going on there then? In particular, I'd like to know what was going on there then with Sam the Sandown Clown, the Devil's Hoofprints, and the Enfield Poltergeist. Yours faithfully, Fergus.
Well.
First of all, I had no idea that we had been hiding our opinions under or within a bushel. Where do you hide things? Have we not been clear that it's all nonsense? Like none of it happened. Have I not been clear enough about that?
I think my woolliness has been. That sounds weird. I wonder what happened.
Have you pulled some wool over the podcast? Have I also not made it clear that I don't like the Tories? Have I been too subtle? Have I been sitting on the fence too much about my opinions?
So, do you think Sam the Sandown Clown was a Tory?
Obviously a Tory, yeah. Who was the Tory in our the podcast so far? Lady Wallace, definitely a Tory.
Mm-hmm.
Sam the Sandown Clown, probably a libertarian, votes Tory, but probably not actually a member of the party. I think the Enfield haunting just didn't happen.
No.
Just a photograph of a kid jumping in a bedroom did not happen.
Do you think it was
didn't happen?
Teenagers mucking around?
It's just people mucking around, yeah.
I don't know if any of this is slander, but the Devil's Hoofprints.
Devil's Hoofprints, probably several different animals' hoofprints, unconnected across a large area. There's nothing mysterious about that.
Just people talking about it and it getting out of hand because there was nothing else to do. Was it Christmas, that one, or was that February?
It was snowy, so
it was snowy times.
I don't recall the date, I'm afraid.
Sam the Sandown Clown is...
What's going on there? Sam the Sandown Clown, probably an actual alien, I think.
I think that might be an actual alien.
I am a skeptic, but if there is a real case in our body of work, for want of a better term, probably Sam the Sandown Clown, probably just an actual alien there.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
In a wooden shed covered in tin foil. That's alien technology. Yeah. So that should answer you, Fergus.
Fake alien in answer to your question.
Next question, please. The floating head of Chris Cantrell.
Hello. Oh, that's peaking. That's peaking immediately.
Starting again from the beginning.
Hello. Did you consider any other subject matter for the podcast? Did you have any alternative names for the podcast? Do you have a favourite episode? And that one is from Teacake 2000.
Thank you very much, Teacake.
Yeah, good luck to you. Good luck to you with a name like that.
Don't listen to
I've
Chris.
always been curious about the podcast origin story.
This is
How did you come up with the idea for the podcast?
There's two at once.
And that's from Scott Johnson in Mesa, Arizona, USA. Yeehaw. I actually know the answer to this one. The origin story started 2012. I was there when basically a comedy club in London in the basement of a horrible pub where it was open mic comedy, and there were two young comedians, well, not that young, we all got started late, but two young comedians, James Shakeshaft and ABK were trying out new material. ABK was like doing all this stuff about why don't my weird translucent skin, and jokes about bell bottoms. Why don't the audience take to them? I don't know, pal. Maybe mix it up a bit. That's not fine. Don't put that in, James. Don't. Hey, don't you be in Loremen podcast. You don't want to be in with these dweebs.
I think.
But they were
wife was in the
together,
room when he was
and-
recording.
Sorry, is this,
Um,
the antics still
the pub that
going?
they were in
We're
were
still
haunted,
mid-anecdote.
This is still the yes.
and
Right.
a ghost. There was a ghost there, and they said we should do a podcast about this. This is 2012. Nobody knew what a podcast was, but a few years later, that's exactly what they did. And also on that day, they both decided that, you know, I should be a guest in it a bit because they saw me do 5 minutes of stand-up, and I absolutely demolished it.
Right, okay. I think there's some clear holes to be
There's
poked in that story.
I know we've had some tall tales on the podcast before, but I'm skeptical of that.
Yes.
That's not how I remember it.
Not me neither. He did all right. The joke about his tears went well.
I remember he said, "That's right. I am a little bit like Bart Simpson
Yes.
in that we both sound like we're being voiced by a middle-aged lady." That was one of
That's
Chris's
right.
jokes. That was good.
That was a lovely Chris Cantrell. Yeah. So yes, to recap, did we consider any other subject matter for the podcast?
I think you said to me, "Let's do a podcast about myths."
Yes.
That's what happened. And I dug into the archive, Gmail archive, to find the old alternative titles that we considered. And it sounds like I'm lying and I'm setting you up like it's a gag, but these are actually the titles we considered.
Okay. I can't really remember. I think I can remember one.
I was going to say they're not good, but to be honest, the actual title's not that good. And a lot of them are very similar. So the first one I suggested was Outlaw. Same pun.
Nice. Same pun.
I also suggested In-Law, which is not
that
even
sounds
good.
Yeah, that's
Same pun though.
Yeah.
The Old Ways podcast. That's
Did we put an E on the end of old?
Maybe we should have.
We should have done. That would have worked. Yeah.
That didn't go very well. The Upright Men, I suggested, a reference to the Fraternity of Vagabonds, which we did many episodes later. And I've written here, the Albion podcast brackets could attract racists.
Yeah, definitely. Probably glad we didn't. I think not in a written down format, maybe it was in a text chain, suggested like alt folk, because it was sort of like an alternative of folk.
Like alt folk or alt.
Yeah, alt.
Like the German word for old, like the alt folk. Or
no, like
like on the computer.
Yeah, and this was before I knew about things like the alt-right, those streamy days, and you were like, oh, what do you mean by
I was like, no,
that?
let's just call it the Albion podcast.
Yeah.
Something nobody can misunderstand. It's just two white guys with beards talking about Albion, a word that I think means white. We suggested Shake Shaft and King, General Witchfinders podcast.
Oh, that's nice.
Say that again for the edit. Shake Shaft and King, General Witchfinders podcast. Quite good.
Nice.
I said the problem with our names being in the title is we're not famous, but it does have a nice ring.
King Shake Shaft.
Shake Shaft and King. I think this one definitely came from you. The Conquering Worms. That's not what the podcast's about. The Conquering Worms.
I don't know, but
No,
I like that.
Yeah, it's a shame we went with Loremen. Inquisition, which is also sounds a little bit patriotic. And Weird Folk, but with a Y. Weird Folk.
Oh yeah, because we don't like SEO.
Which is a genre of music.
That's
why we didn't do that.
That's good. Is that the full list?
That's all the ones I could find. Yeah.
Very nice.
I'll be honest. That's the only one I could find that I think is not a password we use on one of the websites, because I don't want to say that one because it's a password you use on one of the websites.
Oh, I don't know that one. No,
well,
and I hope I've never said it ever before. Yeah, do we have a favorite episode? Do you have a favorite episode? Do I have a favorite episode
of stories that I told was the London Monster, because it featured Lady Wallace.
Oh yes.
Who, for people who don't remember, is an aristocratic lady who basically trolled the court case of a suspected monster in order to basically just gossip for gossiping purposes, just to eavesdrop on the trial. She kept claiming to have knowledge of the crimes and have witnessed things in order to get a good seat at the trial.
Oh,
What
wow.
a character.
What a character. I think maybe mine might be the Chipping Norton episode, because that was when I found out that the vicar was called Eddie Large.
The Americans will have no idea why we both are delighted by the vicar being called Eddie Large.
Yeah, it's it's like having a vicar being called whatever that, like Abbot Costello or something like that. I suppose that's not a vicar, that would be an abbot by definition. And the origin story, as far as I recall, we were driving past Stonehenge on the way to Glastonbury, and I think we just talked a little bit about them stones.
Is that where it started?
I think so.
Because I think I remember seeing them on a roundabout, and
that was when we got to Glastonbury itself.
There's a small version of it on a roundabout.
Yes, I think it was.
You don't want to go to the real version. You can just look at the roundabout.
And I said they're a lot smaller close up than you think, and you were like, "Oh, is that really them?" I like it was, wasn't it the Glastonbury tour or something?
Yeah, I do.
And I think I said the Glastonbury tour is smaller. Yeah. And I thought, this is a guy I could lie to about myths.
This guy seems easily fooled.
So yes, probably give us your next question. The floating head of Chris.
Floating head of Chris.
Another question.
Yeah.
How many books have you law boys added to your collection since you started the podcast? Ooh. And would you be up for providing a list of suggested readings? And that's from Lee's. And I'm just going to respond on behalf of the boys. No, don't be lazy. Do your own reading. I've actually got a book. Oh God, what is it? It's it's like a British almanac type thing. But basically, I looked it up on eBay. It's worth £50. Mamma mia!
It's a hardback book. They're all worth £50.
Very hard to tell when Chris's questions end.
Yes, and
I don't know if we have we have scrupulously avoided giving bibliographies to the episodes because I can't be bothered to remember what books we used in what episodes, unfortunately. Yes. But we do try and mention them whenever they come up in the episode. I have some of my favourites here. The Fabled Coast, which is King's Hill and Westwood, as in Westwood and Simpson, Lore of the Land. Obviously, Lore of the Land is a good one. Lore of Scotland is Westwood and King's Hill as well. Some crossover twixt these two. Curious Myths of the Middle Ages.
Oh, I like that.
Gould. And there's Jan Bonderson's The London Monster.
Oh, yeah.
The definitive book and only book about the London Monster.
That's a slightly more.
There is the child-friendly version of that picture.
Excellent.
And I'm glad it turned out to be the safe one. I didn't know before I put it on the camera.
I haven't got the books in the shed, but yes, quite a few basically. And I try and mention as much as possible, but I'm always going to go back to my old faithfuls, like your Reader's Digest Myths and Legends of Britain and Ireland.
I've got it just there. It's too heavy to lift up the pile. It made the pile too heavy, James. And honestly, I use archive.org a lot because it's got lots of out-of-copyright 19th century books on there. It's very easy to search by text because they've all been OCR'd.
Oh.
So when I'm quoting things from the olden days, is often found on archive.org. Who have, fortunately for now, not been sued into oblivion.
Oh, that's good.
It seems.
So I hope that answers your question. We try, like I say, we try and say it in the episode, but then also write it down afterwards. No, come on. We're not made of pens. Have you another question for us, Floating Head of Chris?
What's that, Floating Head of Chris?
Another question?
Yeah.
If you had to get a tattoo depicting or related to a piece of lore you've covered on the podcast, what would it be? Inky. And Inky's a cool name. Not one you'd give a job to. but cool nonetheless. Well done, Inky. Personally, I would get a Hand of Glory tattooed right on my forehead.
Yes, and I imagine most of the fingers would have burnt down, leaving just one or two. Because Chris is such a bad boy. I must apologise.
Bit of a rebel and a punk, isn't he?
For the floating head of Chris, there to all of the law folk. I don't know. I'm quite tattoo. I like other people's tattoos, and I think they look cool, but I don't trust my own taste enough to ever get a tattoo.
I'm scared. I'd be too scared to get a tattoo.
I think, though,
this is really damaging our reputation as sort of bad boy rebel types, James.
It does, yeah.
We don't have tattoos.
But I think some sort of piece of folklore is the sort of thing that I will hopefully like that, and I might get the Rollright stones, but they don't look iconic like a Stonehenge.
Yeah, and you can't just get a rune, because then you'll look a little bit alt folk.
A little bit Tales of Albion or whatever.
A little bit alt folk. Spelling it with a V now.
Yeah.
Suspicious.
Yikes. So
what about a meat dragon? You can get a meat dragon
on your back.
Because I imagine okay, I don't know. I know we have camped, but I don't know how hairy you are. I imagine that it's like a thicket across the chest area, James.
Yes, but that's the one.
It's completely porcelain smooth, so I could have any elaborate. But in your case, it would be like the dragon was sort of caught.
It'd been rolled across a barber's floor.
Yeah, it's like you've hoovered the meat dragon up, and it's got all bits on it now.
Back to the Future tattoo. Yeah, the numbers or something. Oh, speaking of which, I've got my badge on.
What?
This is the badge that came with the set.
Oh, lovely.
And also I brought my Grace Sports Almanac.
Down.
Nice. Thank you very much. Yeah, Enston has the Horstone on its like town sign as you drive in, but again, it's not like Stonehenge. It's not sort of iconic. It's just a big stone. But you can't. Yeah. So probably a standing stone of some sort.
Yeah, I'd probably just get James.
That's
James's
more
face.
like it. On your back.
Yeah, on my back. Yeah.
Well, I guess there's one more. I think there's one more question.
Is there one more question?
What is the preferred methodology for non-linear time travel? Individual preferences or as the Law Boys Squad? Apologies if this was supposed to be on topic. That's from Leslit GS, as they go by on the Discord.
All right.
What do we think about this one? Time travel.
I just think he's misunderstood.
I think, people always, when you talk about time travel, people always say to you, throw this hypothetical situation to sort of gobble your head, don't they? Say, could you kill baby Hitler? And I think that's an interesting but completely redundant question, because I've seen this guy's art and I really believe I could overpower him as a mawkish teenager. You know what I'm saying? I think I could kick teenage, mawkish goth Hitler's head in.
Right. Thanks, Chris.
So, thank you. Chris taking a bold anti-Hitler stance there. Okay.
Given some of our...
We don't want to alienate people. This is folklore. This is the myth. The mythosphere. Do we have a answer? I don't know. Chris Carpenter is recommending the excavation of Hobbs Barrow, which is a traditional point-and-click adventure game. If you do like the old folk horror and you enjoy a bit of games, that's definitely one to play.
Yes, I would like to check that out.
My name's in the credits.
Is it?
It wasn't really involved. And it's very good, except they do mispronounce the name of the river Wear.
Wear?
They pronounce it River Wear because that's how it's spelled.
Where?
That's why you've always got to have a Durham consultant on any video game. You need a Durham consultant just to make sure nobody makes a mistake. But an excellent game. You should go and play that. What was the question?
What's your favorite time travel methodology?
So what is meant by non-linear time travel?
I think they probably mean forward, because forward time travel is just
living. That's
living inertia. entropy.
Well, I have an answer for this.
Go
on. I like the 12 Monkeys approach to time travel.
Oh, yes.
Which is, you can't change the past because it already happened.
It already
There's
happened.
no branching. There's no alternative dimensions. There's no going back in time to beat up teenage goth Hitler.
Or Cantrell.
Or Chris Cantrell.
Mm-hmm.
If you go back in time, you already went back in time. And so whatever you do back then happened before you went back in time. That seems to be the most, for want of a better word, realistic form of time travel.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So it would have already happened.
Yeah. To be fair, nobody understands that that's how time travel works in 12 Monkeys. And everybody thinks that the plot is he's traveling back in time to stop the spread of the virus.
Well, he is trying.
He's not trying. He's traveling back in time to gather samples that will help them cure the virus in his present.
But then
that's the plot. In the TV series, they changed it, but that's the plot of the film.
What's the bit at the end with the wig? Is he just trying to get to Florida?
He decides to stay in the past. I think.
He just wants to go on holiday.
Escape the.
Just wants to go on holiday.
Confusing film. I haven't seen it for 10 years.
It's one of those films because I think the virus is released on my birthday.
Ooh.
So it's one of them ones where your birthday crops up in a film, so it makes you pay more attention. I obviously like Back to the Future. Next question. No,
really, that hasn't come up on the podcast before.
Yeah, I think I broadly agree, and I think but then we're just getting into Tenet. If anything interesting were to happen due to time travel, it would just be like the film Tenet, and that's as interesting as that format gets.
I was so obsessed with 12 Monkeys when I was about 15. It was the only thing I wanted to talk to anybody about. And when the internet came in, I would just go into chat rooms and ask if anybody had seen 12 Monkeys. And if nobody had, I'd just switch the computer off. Just nothing to say. I've only wanted to talk to people about 12 Monkeys. So bye.
Oh, that's nice. I think contractually, Chris has one more thing to say.
I just want to say thank you for having me. What a year in folklore it has been. Stone circles, UAPs, not UFOs anymore. Haven't we learned a lot? I just want to say thank you for listening to me. And in January, I have a new radio show out. It's called Icklewick FM, and it's going to be on Radio 4 and BBC Radio Sounds, and it's kicking off on the 23rd of January, and it's like a raucous, improvised sitcom sort of thing, which is a lot of fun.
Are you in it?
Quite mucky.
Oh. No, me neither.
Thank you for listening. Please check it out. Also, I'm starting a podcast too. James is going to produce it. It's about, we don't know what it's about yet, but that's fine. I've listened to Loremen. You don't need a premise. Or if you do, it's one that doesn't really make sense, but don't mind, just keep doing it for hundreds of episodes. So keep an eye out for that. So it's going to be me and a comedian called Sunil Patel. Heard of him? No, but you will. And
yes, they've heard of him.
Shakeshaft as producer. We're trying to get him involved in it, speaking a bit more, but he doesn't seem keen. Thank you.
Thanks, Chris. Nice.
I feel like I'm being cut out here. What is this secret podcast involving Sunil that doesn't involve me?
Speaking of secret podcasts
and
that
a
involve
Radio
Sunil,
4 show. If you get on Radio 4, you suddenly forget who your friends are. This is outrageous.
Yes,
he was there when we saw that ghost.
That didn't happen, right?
No, to be fair, that did not happen.
Right, good. Because a bit of me was like, halfway through the story, I was like, wait a minute. Because there were gigs in spooky pubs.
Yeah, true.
But I don't ever being told there was a ghost in one.
No, because I just constantly smashed it and never had a bad gig. So that's how you can tell the story's fake. He obviously included a piece of fake information so that we would know it wasn't true.
But as speaking of secret podcast with Sunil Patel,
Secret Sunil podcast,
I've got a Christmas pig present to unveil for the law folk.
Go for it. I'm surprised, but I know about this.
Yeah, it's called The 5 Pigs of Christmas Pig.
I don't think I approve that name.
Yes.
The 5 pigs of Christmas Pig.
The 5 pigs of Christmas Pig.
On the 5th pig of Pigmas, James Shake Chef gave to me 5 gold pigs.
4 calling pigs, 3 French pigs, 2 turtle pigs.
And a pig in a pig tree.
Lovely stuff. Yes, the 5 pigs of Christmas Pig. It's from tomorrow.
It just does not trip off the tongue.
It was nearly the 5 Christmas pigs of Christmas Pig, but I managed to rein myself in. Yes, from tomorrow we've got a podcast dropping every single day with a different special guest from the past telling they tell us or we tell them a piggy or Christmassy story, and we have a little trailer to play for you now.
Happy Christmas Pig, James. Happy Christmas Pig, Sunil.
Thank you.
Happy Christmas Pig, Sunil. Do you know what a Christmas pig is?
No, do you cook it?
No, you celebrate it.
You celebrate it.
It's also got a Gremlins vibe as well, hasn't it? The Christmas and they're stuck up the chimney.
I know, it's got everything.
The text is very rich. I can translate. Meso, it's basically a naked Tim Tam.
Whoa, how does that even work?
The Swedes have a very pig-heavy Christmas, really. You know, ham is their main Christmas dish. So yeah,
Ham is their turkey.
Yeah, indeed.
It's just a hill that looks a bit like a pig if the pig looked like a hill.
For something pig-related, something northern-related.
A Geordie pig. Right, okay.
A little Geordie pig, a nice little round pig.
While he lies in his sleep, I will kill him.
Oh, right, okay.
But when he got to a barley field, he suddenly found himself surrounded by a large number of pigs.
I have to say, it gets a little bit weirder than it has been so far.
What? I beg your pardon.
Sunil Dead Sea Scrolls denier Patel.
Bring my emotional support wild boar on planes and so forth.
Exposed bits of peat. You can shelter in Evelyn Hollow.
Or Mount Kieran.
Well, Christmas Pig, everyone.
Christmas Pig, everyone.
Christmas Pig.
And, of course, Christmas Pig to you.
Christmas Pig to you too. Happy Saturnalia.
Very nice. Christmas Pig, one and all. Christmas Pig to all who celebrate.
Well, thank you very much, Danny. And
yes,
Christmas Pig to you.
Well, a pleasure.
I can see Danny resisting the temptation to say Christmas Pig back to us. It not attempted at all to say.
No, it was a pleasure talking with you.
So, yeah, the 5 pigs of Christmas Pig.
I went and had a wee there, and my garland nearly fell into the toilet. Forgot I was wearing it, but it didn't touch the water.
That's a Christmas Pig miracle.
Well, that sounds great. Wow, so that's like five special guest minisodes dropping over, because a lot of podcasts take a break over the Christmas period. But
yeah, I thought I'd just do a full week's work.
You thought you'd just gear up and just do way more work than usual.
Yeah.
Wow, you
exactly
must really
right.
love the Law Folk.
And Christmas Pig.
And Christmas Pig. The spirit of Christmas Pig entered you.
And
you snuffled around and found 5 truffles.
Yes, so those, yeah. Oh, excuse me. So those will be coming out every day. There'll be a little bit behind the scenes bonus episodes for the Law Folk off the Patreon. So please join if you're not already joined. And you'll get loads of bonus content, and you'll get access to all the other previous bonus episodes featuring all the Law Folks. I see in the chat some eagle-eared listeners have worked out some of them already. But yeah, it's a little Christmas Pig treat.
The eagle-eared listeners have worked out who it is by means of hearing their voices and recognizing who they are.
And then us saying their names sometimes.
I see. Yeah, that was probably a clue as well.
But Alistair, I've also got a Christmas Pig story.
You mean this is not just a live stream where we play Top Trumps and are frankly heckled by Chris Cantrell?
It could have been. It could have been. But I've got something else.
This is jam packed. This is like a Christmas selections box from when you were a kid.
Yes, they were like 5 kilos. By the way,
were they? Were they
5,
bigger when you were a kid?
They genuinely were. I've done a lot of research recently into it, and you could get. I think you still can get like a 3.5 kilo Quality Street tin.
Wow!
But it costs like 20 quid or something like that.
Sort it out, Rishi. What's going on?
Please.
Come on.
Does he know it's Christmas?
I mean, he is a Hindu, so that's a little insensitive. I'm sure he knows. I'm not saying he doesn't know, but he probably doesn't celebrate.
He wouldn't celebrate, but he would definitely know.
He should, yeah, he would.
Because otherwise he's going to be turning up to work. Where's everyone? What's going on?
He knows, but he doesn't care, like all Tories.
But today...
sorry, just for the sake of balance, and the Labour Party.
and
for American listeners, the Democratic Party. Also bastards. Do we swear on the live streams? I can't remember.
Pretty sure we don't.
Well, we'll bleep it, and once it's bleeped, it'll sound like I said what I was actually thinking.
Alistair.
Yes.
You've had too many Christmas pigs.
I'm sorry.
I want to tell you.
Parties are also bastards.
Pretty much all of them, yes. I want to tell you about Toby the Sapient Pig. I have here a pamphlet.
The life and times... Sorry, I'm going to start that again. The life and adventures of Toby the Sapient Pig. And I don't know if the viewers can see, but the highlight of this front page are the words, written by himself.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. It's an autobiography of a pig.
A pig's autobiography.
A pig's autobiography. But we'll get to that. So there was a fad for clever pigs. Learned pigs in the past. It began around the 1780s, and it was inspired by the horse of knowledge. Who's the
horse of knowledge?
That was Morocco, the thinking horse, who, as far as we can tell, was the original clever animal.
Okay.
Apart from humans.
Morocco,
apart from some humans. Yeah, Morocco, the thinking horse. That he lived 1586 to 1606. And it was one of those animals that could count.
Time.
They could spell out words. 20 years?
20 years. That's a good run for a horse.
Well, it's a thinking horse. It's not a running horse, I guess.
Make good choices.
Yes. It was, they would tap on the ground to count out numbers. They could do some rudimentary maths. I think some of the clever pigs could guess people's ages. Stuff.
I have seen a counting donkey.
Have you?
I mean, arguably, what I saw was a donkey that has been trained to stamp its hoof every time the person holding it tugs on its collar. And then what I think I was watching was the ringmaster doing maths in his head.
Oh.
And then tugging on the collar to give so basically feeding the answer to the like that guy who wants to be a millionaire, but with a donkey, passing it on to the donkey. And I don't know if the donkey is in on I don't know if the donkey knows that it's a scam. I mean, the donkey's innocent, really. It's just being used as a tool.
When you said Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, I instantly swapped it out for Britain's Got Talent. And I thought I know I haven't watched it, but just a guy doing maths, but he was being fed the answers. No, I haven't seen Britain's Got Talent for a while.
Yeah, it's mostly about counting horses.
There's one horse. Oh, no, horses that can count. Right, I get it. No, and then this moved on to pigs.
I'm sorry, I'm being corrected. Horses live for 40 years. So actually, that's a shockingly short lifespan for this horse. A life of debauchery.
Exactly.
Excess. Celebrity, celebrity opens a lot of doors, as I'm sure once Chris's Radio 4 show airs, he'll be able to tell us about.
Exactly. Yeah, I think this Morocco ended its days Elvis style.
Oh dear.
Like in a jumpsuit, in an ill-fitting jumpsuit in Vegas. But no, so it moved away from horses to pigs, I guess because they're smaller, they less running costs on a pig.
Yeah, the overheads on a pig are almost nil.
Really?
They eat anything, including pigs. So.
Oh God. Well, the original learned pig was trained by Samuel Bissett.
Can I jump in and raise a point of order here, James? Sorry, for the first time in my life, I've been playing the Ace Attorney games. Hold it. Sidebar, what the flip is going on with the legal system in whatever country, in whatever Japanese American country that's supposed to be taking place in? Because they're like the trial's tomorrow and we haven't found any evidence. Well, then don't have the trial tomorrow. Why did you arrest? Okay. Point of order. When you pitched this to me, you said we were going to talk about Toby the Learned Pig. And
yes.
And I've noticed that now we're recording it, you're saying Learned Pig. And in between times, I said to you, is it not Learned Pig? And you said, I'll look into it.
Yeah, and I looked into it and it turned out it is learned.
Okay. I wanted to get my...
it's in
apology, really.
No, you're correct.
Thank you. That's all I wanted to hear. Now you've made me the bad guy because I had to beg you to acknowledge that.
I'm also sorry for that then.
Okay. That's the gavel coming down if this was Ace Attorney.
Overruled. So, yes, the original Learned Pig was trained by Samuel Bissett, and the pig outlived Bissett and was taken over by a Mr. Nicholson, who brought it to London, reportedly around 1785. And the pig reportedly died in 1788. But it was later reported that it had returned from France after the Revolution and was ready to discourse on the feudal system, the right of kings, and the destruction of the Bastille.
Wow! Oh, so this pig's a royalist.
What? It's a clever. It's a learned pig. We just wanted to talk about it.
Okay,
might not have believed in it.
Before I take sides here, I'm going to have to know what its opinions on those subjects were, because if this pig is a counter-revolutionary, I think it needs to go.
It's an undead potential counter-revolutionary pig.
One of the most dangerous kinds.
Yeah. Samuel Johnson, who never saw the pig, but that didn't stop him from having opinions.
Not surprised about that at all.
He was having a discussion about how the pig was trained, and someone present said it was probably tortured, and to which Johnson said, the pig, what's voice to Johnson? The pig has no cause to complain. He would have been killed the first year if he'd not been educated. Yikes, Samuel.
I'm now on the pig side. He sounds like a Telegraph columnist. Learned pigs.
In 1798, there was an American Pig of Knowledge, which was presented by William Frederick Pinchbeck. He toured major towns and introduced the pig to President John Adams to universal applause.
Universal,
not even worldwide, not even global.
Universal. Wow, that's like the World Series of introducing pigs to people.
And Pinchbeck published
introducing a talking pig, not even a talking pig, but a clever pig to the. And it was like, I'm a president. What are you doing?
It's not
like this pig can count. It's like, what do you mean the pig can count? I'm the president. This is ridiculous.
And you're not introducing. You're showing me a pig. I'm not being introduced to a pig. Yeah. So Pinchbeck published a pamphlet explaining how he trained the pig. Do you remember how we've talked about before in the past? Like you could call anything, you could give things quite cool names because no names had been used.
Yes.
So you could give it quite pithy names. Like old films have got like cool names, like Rear Window, Psycho.
Well, like when we were trying to name this podcast, we thought about What the Folklore, but there is a podcast called that.
And
have you ever tried to come up with a name for a fake band or a fake coffee shop? It's very hard to do because every band name or coffee shop name you can think of is the name of a band or a coffee shop somewhere.
Well, this pamphlet was called, this used all the words. Hold on. I'm genuinely going to need to take a big swig of water to do this. So this pamphlet was called The Expositor, or Many Mysteries Unraveled, delineated in a series of letters between a friend and his correspondent, comprising the learned pig, invisible lady, and acoustic temple, philosophical swan, penetrating spyglasses, optical and magnetic, and various other curiosities on similar principles. Also, a few of the most wonderful
We're
feats.
still in the title here,
This
are we?
is still the title. Also, a few of the most wonderful feats as performed by the art of legerdemain, with some reflections on ventriloquism.
I think that's legerdemain.
Legerdemain.
Which means prestidigitation.
What?
Or sleight of hand.
Ah, with some reflections on ventriloquism. So, yeah.
Wow. So I think they don't really know what titles are at this point in history. I haven't quite worked out.
It's those pamphlets where you see the front page is just covered in words because they didn't have pictures. So they had to. Someone said, paint a picture with your words. So that doesn't mean cover the page with words.
That's a contents page where you list everything that's in the book. That's not a title.
And then in the early 19th century, Nicholas Hoare, an illusionist, exhibited Toby the Sapient Pig.
Here we go.
And in 1817, the autobiography was published. The life. And would you like just a little sort of just a summary of Toby's life? What sort of voice do you think Toby the Sapient
twisted my tail. Let's do it.
What sort of voice do you think Toby would have? The Sapient
probably
Pig?
Quite a friendly voice.
Friendly like a Sandown clown.
Yeah, but maybe
there's quite a bit to read.
Can you get a bit of pork in there? Can you get a bit of pork into that voice?
Friendly.
Yes. Oh, that sounds like bacon crackling in the pan. Beautiful.
So I was born in a place, I'm rightly informed, called Aversall, on the Duke of Bedford's.
From Rainbow, but
no,
I'll allow it.
My father was an independent gentleman who roamed at large, and my mother a spinster. He in a roadside house called the Green Man. I was one among many more who were the offsprings of an illicit amour between her and my father.
Sorry, is this pig explaining that his parents, who were pigs, were unmarried?
Yes.
Okay, quite scandalous, but also fairly standard for pigs.
His mother was a spinster, and his father was an independent gentleman who roamed around. And then a man comes to the pub and sees Toby and seems to like him, and he said,
you know what it's like? You have had a couple of drinks and you look over the bar and there's a really clever pig there. Who's that?
The gentleman, after refreshing himself, put me in a little box and placing me under his arm, sallied forth, much pleased at having
refreshing himself. I'm sure he means drinking.
Yes. Well, actually, that might come in later. From the moment I left my place of nativity, my preceptor became my constant companion by day and night. Asleep or awake, he was all but few removes from me. I wish all tutors would discharge their duties in the like manner. If they did, we should not have so many blockheads in the world as we see every day.
Oh, a little bit of stand-up comedy. Am I right?
Yeah.
What's the deal with blockheads, guys?
They didn't have a tutor around them at all times.
Yep, that's the reason.
And how he got his name is recollecting Hamlet's soliloquy, to be or not to be, he involuntarily used these words in addressing me. Yeah.
I can see why that's his preferred play.
Because he is a little Hamlet. He's a baby pig.
He's a small ham, yeah.
Yes. And the guy said Nicholas, I guess it must be, said to be or not to be, and that somehow sort of turned into Toby. So he's got a Shakespearean name. No wonder he's such a clever pig. And before I was 3 months old, I knew some of my letters, which was such a discovery to him that he redoubled his attentions, and he began to conceive he would one day make a great creature of me. Which is not bad.
Yeah.
And by the time Toby was 4 months old, he could read tolerably well. And I know many little boys and girls at 4 years old that cannot do anything like it. What a shame they will appear to them, and how angry they will be with themselves when they are able to read this, my life, that one of my race should so far surpass them at so tender an age. There's a bit of bitterness.
Why are you so angry, Toby the Sapient Pig?
I never went hungry to bed, as many little ladies and gentlemen do very often. More shame for them.
Wow, there's a lot more social commentary here than I was expecting.
Yeah.
Young people today, says a pig,
Mm.
are blockheads.
Yeah.
Literate blockheads.
Who are sometimes hungry.
Yeah.
But I'm not. But unfortunate. So Nicholas Hoare was he was touring around with he had an equestrian troupe of some eminence, and then one day there was an incident or accident. One day, as we were passing a narrow lane, one side of which was a ditch, the horse before took fright at a man who suddenly popped through the hedge and set off at full speed. That's the horse set off at full speed. So he's got frightened by a man popping out of a hedge.
And pop.
And it crashed into Toby and Nicholas's cart and sent them into the ditch. And Nicholas managed to find Toby. He had a slight cut to his head, but he was fine. From this time, I knew not the reason, but the affairs of my master every day grew worse and worse. One misfortune or another attended him constantly. So, but his business began to suffer. He put all his efforts, though, into Toby the Sapient Pig. By the time I was 6 months old, he deemed it fit that I should make my first bow to an audience that he had drawn together in a poor village in Essex.
Now, can pigs bow?
If they can't look up,
yeah, famously,
which is a rumor,
I think we may discuss whether or not they can look up in one of the upcoming Christmas pig specials.
Mm-hmm.
But if they can't look up, can they bow?
Can they look down?
Can they look down?
Yeah, don't know.
Just asking questions.
Like Toby.
Yep.
About the middle of my performance, a young farmer came in who I did not at first sight approve of.
Well,
there appearing to be
probably a little bit tasty.
Something. There appearing to be something about him which I had never before seen. He insulted everybody, more or less, amongst others myself, at which I took an offence. It was the first time I had ever seen a man drunk. Right. My master, I believe, being one of the soberest men alive.
That frankly shocks me that the guy whose main thing is clever horses and pigs, is the soberest man alive. That surprises me.
Yeah. As our immortal poet says, "Oh, that a man should put an enemy in his mouth to steal away his brains."
I'm sorry.
Oh, that a man should put an enemy in his mouth to steal away his brains. Yes, to steal away his brains.
To steal away his brains.
Yeah, I think it's Shakespeare.
And what was Shakespeare getting at there?
Putting a tiny little man.
Yeah.
Who's
in your mouth.
In your mouth, and the man climbs up and steals your brains.
And you shouldn't do that.
No, that's bad.
And I don't feel like I need to be warned against that. Are you playing out Shakespeare?
Yeah, I don't know.
Taking the mick with these advice.
And yeah, basically he disliked drunks from that day forth.
I can understand. Well, I mean, look, you and I have done some tough gigs in Essex. You know?
Exactly.
I mean, I've turned around completely on Toby the Sapient Pig. I now regard him as one of the fraternity. One of the road hogs who travel around just trying to bring a little joy into people's lives.
Well, funny you should say that.
How are we repaid for our sacrifices? Scorn.
It was my master's determination to accustom me as much as possible to the sight of the public, under whatever disadvantage might present itself, and to speak truth for a length of time during the winter of last year and the beginning of the spring of the present. They were numberless.
Stand-up comedy is just about telling the truth, isn't it? And the people don't always like it, but you've got to tell your truth, haven't you, on stage? That's what it's about. It's not about making people laugh or doing any work. It's about telling the truth.
And basic maths.
And maths and learning to count, yeah. MB in the chat is making an interesting point. Funny that this poem, written by the pig and not at all by its master himself, is so complimentary of the master.
It's the greatest man. It sounds like this master was the greatest man that ever lived.
Pretty impressive.
And basically describes doing loads of gigs, sometimes too a beggarly account of empty boxes. So like, hey, tough gig.
Yeah, you got to pay your dues, as Ringo Starr said.
The period at last arrived when we were to be solace for all our sufferings, An agreement was entered into with the proprietor of the Royal Promenade Rooms, Spring Gardens, for my first appearance before a London audience.
His big break. A metropolitan London audience is gonna have to woke it up. They won't be accepting the same kind of truth bombs you can drop on the home counties. Not in London, no siree. You're gonna have to watch what you say.
I became the topic of the day. Expectation was on the wing. The prying eye of curiosity was wide open. The day arrived that was to make
he's
me...
drifting towards Ion.
He is a bit, yeah.
He's moving Ironwood.
The day arrived that was to make me or mar me forever. My first appearance... Oh, yeah, here's a bit. Those who have been in a similar situation can alone be able to conceive what I must have felt. As the time grew nearer, it was dreadful. However, I possess a strong nerve and some small share of confidence. So, he's scared.
Yeah.
He's going into it.
This is a big deal for him. Probably like Chris Cantrell recording a show for Radio 4. It's like this is it. Will the listeners of Britain be able to understand a word I'm saying? Will they have to run it through some kind of AI in order to turn it into recognizable English? He's nervous.
He's right to be. But he's got some small amount of confidence. My first appearance was greeted with loud and reiterated plaudits. From every part, handkerchiefs waving, fans rapping, placards exhibited.
People brought placards.
Or brought bare placards. Were like, we'll see how this goes. And we'll put our message on.
Bring a blank placard and a marker.
Never till then was my heart so elated. My master was mute in astonishment at the success of my onset, and we consoled each other when all was over at the golden harvest that presented itself. Again, I think that was a one-sided conversation.
Mm-hmm.
The next morning, the papers teemed with critiques of my performance. All were liberal in the end, but they twisted me sadly, some of the editors, from what they wrote.
Oh, these journalists, these... hacks.
I firmly believe
some of them just aren't brave enough to go out and be a clever pig themselves.
A lot of them are failed clever pigs, yeah. and Toby implies that some of those critics, they weren't even at the gig.
What?
Yeah.
Jeez. So outrageous.
Yes. So, I mean, it's obviously an autobiography, so the pig's still alive at the end. It does go over one of the origin stories that was put around at the time, that his mother, whilst pregnant with him, went into a gentleman's library and ate some books.
Yep.
But yeah, we don't know whatever happened to the clever pig. We don't know what happened to him. They must have died, but Toby went on to become the name for a clever pig. It was like just became the name, and it became clever pigs in general became like a stalwart of satire. So it was shown up as like moral panic kind of thing. There's a cartoon, one of those hilarious cartoons.
Oh, I love a political cartoon.
Just an intricate drawing.
Yeah, way too many speech bubbles.
This was called the Downfall of Taste and Genius.
You could really satirize broad things. Like, you just do a really big drawing called "Everyone But Me's a Fool." They're all stupid and I hate them. And then you can just do a drawing of everyone you didn't like, just falling into a toilet.
Yeah. Yes, basically. The classical muses flee while the learned pig leads an assault on the arts as Shakespeare and Pope's works are cast aside.
Yeah.
One time they drew the prime minister as a clever pig, and also the other guy is also when they were having their debates.
That's rubbish. Satire is when you say that the Tories and Labour are bastards. Like that's satire. Sorry. It's after 9 p.m. I can.
Oh yeah.
Sorry if the truth is too much for
too sweary
for you, James.
So yeah, that's the story of Toby the Sapient Pig.
What a story.
In his own words. So, would you like to score my
I would
pig?
love to pass judgment on little Tobes. I do have one question, James.
Oh, yes.
Did a pig write that?
I mean, it says it here. It says written by himself.
I'm asking you though now, James.
Well,
you can't speak through.
This was
reprinted.
Reprinted by Curious Publications.
Did a pig write it? Really?
I may have had to dictate it very slowly, like the diving bell and the butterfly, just by like one letter at a time, like a brief history of time. It was indicated by eye movements.
Okay.
So
let's continue to sit on that fence.
I don't. Nicholas Orr was an illusionist, so he might have been able to talk.
We're talking about the most honest and brilliant and sober.
Yeah, the wonderful. Sorry, the wonderful Nicholas Orr was an illusionist, so he might have been able to talk to pigs.
Yeah, probably could just
probably could understand.
What do you want to put in the book? And the pig just oinked suggestions. I can see him sitting there at the typewriter and the pig oinking back and forth, smoking with a whiskey. Just trying to think of what to do.
Oink, cetera.
Yeah.
So yes, let's score this pig.
Charlotte's Web of Lies. Very, very good,
that's
Sora.
very nice.
That's very, very good. A little joke about a clever pig there.
Yes. So first up,
let's score it.
Score it. Category the first, naming.
Names: Toby the Sapient Pig. Great name.
Exactly.
The name of that pamphlet that goes on for 5 pages.
Yes.
Great name.
A lot of names. It's got all the words in it. The Expositor, or Many Mysteries Unraveled, blah, 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 with some reflections on ventriloquism. Pinchbeck.
Pinchbeck, very nice.
That was the guy, isn't it? William Frederick Pinchbeck.
What does Pinchbeck? Because it suggests the theft of a stream.
Does it? Or maybe maybe like
a stream, isn't it?
A stream chicane.
Oh yeah, could be. Oh, that reminds me, James. One of the in the proposal email where we were discussing what would happen in the podcast.
Oh yeah.
We said it would be a podcast about folklore that would be neither completely credulous nor too cynical.
Oh,
sitting on the fence.
Nice.
And we said it would have an arbitrary scoring system that was bespoke for each episode. And one of the features would be invent a toponym, brackets, Google it. I think you wrote that. Invent a toponym, brackets, Google it.
I should have.
Where the guest would have to invent a toponym from the place where they're from, or not necessarily a place. And weirdly, that extremely difficult to describe feature never made it into a single episode. We never invented a single toponym.
We never invented one toponym.
Based on your face as I'm saying this, I think maybe that was my idea.
I think the Google it would have been a note to self for me.
A toponym is a place name. So like inventing new place names. Or maybe I meant like inventing new new explanations for existing place names. That's probably what I meant.
That's not bad, actually. We should bring it in. Bring it in for series 6 or 7.
Wasn't Pinchbeck like a fake version of Silver? Ooh, I wonder if Ellie's right. That sounds very interesting. Yeah, wait until this podcast transitions to being completely about toponyms.
Yeah. With the same name, though. We're not going to change the name.
Well, Pinchbeck is a form of brass, an alloy of copper and zinc mixed in proportions so that it closely resembles gold in appearance. Brilliant Googling, Ellie.
Gold.
Ooh. Fake gold.
That's good. For a clever pig's owner. Yes, and we had Samuel Bissett and a Mr. Nicholson. That wasn't great. But what do you reckon for names then?
Well, I think it's a 3, but since it's Christmas Pig,
yes,
I'm going to make it 4.
Lovely stuff.
Pop an extra point in the stocking for you there, James.
Oh, like right down the end, like a pound
right
coin.
At the end, yeah, like a tangerine.
Nice, thank you very much. I'll take
welcome.
That. The second category is supernatural.
Well, this is a challenge because several questions are raised. Did the pig really write it? Is one of those questions.
Well,
another question is it supernatural for a pig to be intelligent, or is that within the bounds of science?
Yes.
This is just simply a learned pig.
It's just
the pig wasn't enchanted.
However,
it's not a haunted pig.
One pig did want to talk about the French Revolution after it had died.
Oh yeah. Yes, I forgot about the zombie royalist pig.
The potential, not necessarily just
not
asking
necessarily
questions.
Actually neither left nor right. All right. In that case, I'm afraid it's a 1 out of 5 for one possibly zombie, possibly royalist pig.
Yikes.
Okay.
Peter Larson saying in the chat that autographic pigs aren't normal.
Autobiographic pigs.
Oh yeah, autographs of pigs aren't normal either. Okay, I'm going to need a category from the category.
Oh, so we need to ask the chat.
We do need to ask the chat for a
category.
cat. Yes.
But are you telling me you've got a third category of your own? Sorry, I was so confident that you do. I was teeing you up to use it. Now I'm looking at your face. I can see that we do not have categories here.
We have no more categories.
Okay, well, we're getting lots of suggestions. Charlotte's Web of Lies.
I've got a category. I've got a final category. Yes.
Oh, okay. Spork to natural. That's good.
Whoa.
Maybe we should delete when I quoted Charlotte's Web of Lies earlier from the edit.
Oh yes,
just use
yes.
Charlotte's Web of Lies now.
Let's have that.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Pig shade, fine swine. Blockheads. Hogwash, very good. But let's do Sora's suggestion.
Yes. Okay. We'll do that last. It's very good.
Thank you, everyone in the chat.
Third category.
Third category.
I've got you on this one.
Oh.
It is amount of pigs of Christmas pig.
Amount of pigs of Christmas.
Yeah.
Amount of pigs. James, are you telling me that you've planned to do 5 episodes over the Christmas period purely in order to win a point in the scores of our Christmas live stream?
Will it win me the points?
I mean, yeah, it's 5 out of 5 for amount of pig, because this has been a absolutely pork-packed episode. It's like a tin of Spam in here.
Exactly. It's better than most sausages.
Oh yeah. There's no mealy grain here. Not a hint of sage. It's pure pig.
All the way. And final category.
Yeah, Rob Susan says classic Shake Shaft move. Absolutely. What a schemer. Who is the real clever pig? That's the question I'm asking.
Yeah.
Who is the most learned of all pigs?
What if one of the categories was amount of suggested names for the podcast and it happened and I'd done it there? No. Final category is from the category. Thank you very much, the category.
Thank you, Sora, for suggesting category 5.
Charlotte's Web of Lies. Because Charlotte's Web
has famously a clever pig in it.
Got a clever pig. And it's
confusing because the name is about a spider, Charlotte.
Yes.
But there is a pig in it as well.
Is the pig not called Charlotte? Is the pig not Charlotte?
Charlotte's the spider, right? Who spins the web.
Yeah, you'd think. Unless the spider named it after the pig.
I'm going to have to find this out right now.
Yeah, we'd better do some live Googling.
Charlotte's Web. It tells the story of a livestock pig named Wilbur and his friendship with a spider called Charlotte.
Okay, great. Okay.
A pig couldn't live in a web.
It's too heavy.
Yeah,
but it is a web of lies.
It's
surely.
Absolutely a web of lies. I don't believe for a second that a pig wrote that.
I don't believe that an illusionist could be that nice.
I just think a story about supposedly written by a pig, presented by a professional illusionist, is something that you and I, James, as broad-minded skeptics, ought to be a little bit leery of. Just a little bit of skepticism. I don't think a pig wrote it.
Fair enough. So what's the
so it's 5 out of 5.
Yes.
Counterbalancing the 1 out of 5 for Supernatural.
Thank goodness.
Full 5.
I'm glad I didn't fall on both of those hurdles.
A deep mince pie of points.
Oh, lovely. A deep porky mince pie. That sounds horrible.
Yes. Oh,
Mm.
mince pies, for the benefit of people who aren't British, it's sweet mincemeat. So
Yeah, it hasn't got any meat in it anymore.
It's meat in the old-fashioned sense of meat, like
Exactly
sweet meats.
right.
And you know what you don't hear about much these days, James?
Mm.
Nosegays.
No. What are they?
I think they're just things that smell nice. Like, because everybody presumably used to stink.
Yeah.
So you would carry around little nosegays.
Something
You have
nice.
nosegays and sweet meats.
Mm.
Those were the days. But
Those
these
were.
days, young people are all blockheads.
Because they're not being taught by Nicholas Hoare.
Yep. Because they don't
They're
have
being taught by Dynamo.
Joe Rogan's pig podcast experience. Pig telling them all sorts of nonsense.
Unbelievable. Well, that's a very downbeat way to end Xmas Pig.
Yeah.
Come on.
I'll pick it up. Well, Merry Christmas Pig to you, James.
A Merry Christmas Pig to you too.
And Merry Christmas Pig to the listeners.
Yes, thank you very much, the listeners. Thanks for being with us over the last year and joining us in
previous years as well.
And the previous years as well, yes. And joining us in the Lawfolk Discord. And thank you for lovely presents and just being really great, actually.
Yeah. Christmas Pig.
Mistletoe and pig. Pigs singing Christian pigs. With pigs on the fire. Oh, this has turned dark. And pigs on the tree. Get out of the tree, pigs. You can't climb.
Pigs of pigs. Fa la 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 pigs.
Ah.
It's really a word you can slip into pretty much any hymn and it improves it.
Yes. Merry Pigmas.
Merry Pigmas to you.
Well, thank you very much, everyone. Please, do if you want to get those episodes, continue. Just simply look at your feed.
Yeah, what do you have to do if you want to get those Christmas episodes? Just continue
just
doing
hear
what
them
you're doing,
again.
just listen to the podcast as normal.
Do you want to? Should we play the trailer again?
I think we should play the trailer again.
With a few subtle clues as to who the guests might be.
Subtle clues? A clever pig.
Happy Christmas Pig, James. Happy Christmas Pig, Sunil. Thank you.
Happy Christmas Pig, Sunil. Do you know what a Christmas pig is?
No, do you cook it?
No, you celebrate it.
You celebrate it?
It's also got a Gremlins vibe as well, hasn't it? The Christmas and they're stuck up the chimney.
I know, it's got everything.
The text is very rich. I can translate. Meso, it's basically a naked Tim Tam.
Whoa, how does that even work?
The Swedes have a very pig-heavy Christmas, really. Ham is their main Christmas dish. So yeah,
ham is their turkey.
Yeah, indeed.
It's just a hill that looks a bit like a pig if the pig looked like a hill.
For something pig-related, something northern-related.
A Geordie pig. Right, okay.
A little Geordie pig, a nice little round pig.
While he lies in his sleep, I will kill him.
Oh, right, okay.
But when he got to a barley field, he suddenly found himself surrounded by a large number of pigs.
I have to say, it gets a little bit weirder than it has been so far.
What? I beg your pardon.
Sunil Dead Sea Scrolls denier Patel.
Bring my emotional support wild boar on planes and so forth.
Exposed bits of peat. You can shelter in Evelyn Hollow.
Or Mount Kieran.
Well, Christmas Pig, everyone.
Christmas Pig, everyone.
Christmas Pig.
And, of course, Christmas Pig to you.
Christmas Pig to you too. Happy Saturnalia.
Very nice. Christmas Pig, one and all. Christmas Pig to all who celebrate.
Well, thank you very much, Danny. And
yes,
Christmas Pig to you.
Well, a pleasure.
I can see Danny resisting the temptation to say Christmas Pig back to us. It not attempted at all to say.
No, it was a pleasure porking with you.
Well, there we go.
James, I have to just stop you there because I'm amused by this. Sarah in the chat is saying, this has been brilliant, but I still don't know where Christmas Pig came from. I love the idea that I've been watching the whole episode. I've been like, why are they talking about pigs?
It's sort of pigs, right?
I don't think people normally say Christmas Pig. Well, welcome to Pigtown. This is how we do. This is how we roll.
Yes.
Pigville.
This is how we roll our pigs.
Get on the sleigh.
Yeah, I think you get a potted history in amongst the 5 pigs of Christmas Pig, and
yeah. Because weirdly, a lot of the guests who don't necessarily listen to every episode of our podcast have no idea why we keep saying Christmas Pig to them.
Some of them were scared.
Yeah, alarmed. quite resistant.
Yeah, thank you very much for joining us, everyone. Thank you very much. Some people have already joined up to patreon.com/LawmenPod, where you can join through that. You can join the Lawfolk Discord, get access to the bonus episodes. Someone just gave us some money on coffee. Thanks for that.
Oh, that's very kind.
Thank you very much. And yeah, or just have a lovely Christmas Pig, everyone.
Oh, good. Our piglets eat this year. A little swarm of piglets.
Christmas Pig to you too, Alistair.
Christmas Pig.
Christmas Pig.